Hey, everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. I bet that's something a lot of you didn't expect to hear. So yeah, what I'm doing today is I'm back in a game that I used to main on this YouTube channel called Entropia Universe. And what I'm going to be talking about today is exactly what the title says. I'm going to be talking about what's going on with Entropia, why I left, and just everything around that. And the truth is going to surprise you because I didn't actually leave Entropia Universe. In addition to that, I want to introduce everybody to Entropia Universe first because I know a lot of you probably don't even have any idea what this game is. So Entropia Universe is an MMORPG that is probably one of the first and longest lasting real cash economy games in the world. So if you know this whole metaverse play to earn thing that's going on right now, it was all started 20 years ago with a few games like Entropia Universe, Second Life, and a litany of other games that are sort of unknown because they sort of died off. Entropia is one of the few games that actually survived, and it's one of the games that I've had the privilege of playing for over a decade now. It's been a while. So yeah, a lot of longtime viewers know exactly what this game is because I used to be one of the bigger content creators for Entropia Universe. And I figured it was time to jump back into it because I wanted to. So that's what we're doing. And I wanted to give people a little bit of closure and explain to people why I don't play Entropia Universe, or at least record Entropia Universe as much as I used to. I think I owe that to people at the very least. And I don't know if the reasons are going to surprise anyone or anything like that, but I thought it would be good to dive into. Also, a cool thing to note about this game is probably going to be the first MMORPG to use Unreal Engine 5. So Entropia Universe has a history of adapting some insane new engines. So the engine I'm playing on right now is the Crysis, or the Crytek engine. For those of you who don't know, that's an extremely high-tech engine back in the day when they converted to it. They were one of the first MMORPGs to do that. They took a big risk when they converted over there, and in my opinion, while it worked out for the game, the engine didn't get as popular as they were hoping it would get, so that was a bit of a mixed bag there. But they're going to be going over to Unreal Engine 5, and hopefully that's gonna do a lot for this game. But yeah, I think that covers everything I set out to cover about that. Oh, and this mining run is what is it? It's a 260 PED mining run. I've got 10 PEDs of universal ammo, 60 PEDs of probes, and a level 5 amplifier. For some of you, that means absolutely nothing, but for those of you who know Entropia Universe, you know exactly what I just said. But yeah, 260 PEDs, that's about a $25 USD mining run. So like I said, this game is a play-to-earn type game. Everything you get in here is worth real money. So what that means is when I say I'm spending X number of PD, that can be converted into a real cash amount. And in this case, that would be $26. One thing, too, to remember about Entropia Universe, and this is just a warning for everybody, it's one of those games that you're going to lose money with it. The goal here is to have fun. It's not to make a ton of money. So think of this like anything else. Like when you buy skins or when you do anything like that, you're not doing it to make money, you're doing it to have fun. The same thing holds true with Entropia Universe, but the difference being you sort of you spend what you can and then you see how long you can make it last. For me, I've never put any money into this game, but that is extremely rare to have. I don't know if anyone could do it nowadays. I got extremely lucky. I've got something called deeds, which give you money. It's sort of like stocks in the real world. So everything it works out a lot differently for me than it would for most people. Also, PEDs are conveniently not worth anything. Legitimately, if you look into it, they're actually not valuable. It's hard to explain. They are worth something, obviously, but they're not worth anything. On paper, this is not an asset or anything like that. MindArk just agrees that if you try to withdraw, they will be able to give you USD for it. You can look into the TOS and all that. That's not what I'm trying to do. Basically, I'm just trying to get that sort of all that stuff out of the way so people don't think I'm trying to promote something that I'm not. That's one problem I've had in the past when I started doing not when I started doing Entropia Universe, but after I started doing Rust. That was my main game. When I'd go back to Entropia Universe, people would complain Serial, why are you doing this? You're getting paid, blah, blah, blah. I'm not getting paid under the table for this or anything like that. If you go back into the history of my channel, you'll see that I've been covering this game for a long, long time. I do have some sponsored posts that I've worked on with the developers of this game. This is not one of them, and I did way more Entropia Universe videos before those sponsored posts than after. So you can read into this what you want, but yeah, I want to get that all out of the way. So yeah, let's get into this, right? Let's talk about the interesting stuff to a lot of you. Why did I leave Entropia Universe? Why did I stop playing Entropia Universe? Well, the first and most obvious reason is because of YouTube, the views, and the algorithm and how all of that works. So basically what happened was the way it used to work, the way I used to do YouTube was I do a video like this where I'm sort of like just talking into the microphone, entertaining people who are playing Entropia Universe. They tune in, they listen to me. I play Entropia Universe while I'm talking. We talk about it. I do Warframe guides and Rust guides. You can probably see where this is going. The Warframe guides and the Rust guides are actually making me money. The Entropia Universe guides the Entropia Universe videos were generally break even or losing me money, which, it is what it is. I was okay with that. Full disclosure, this video is probably going to lose me money. I can take a guess at how much this video is going to make, and it's not going to be whatever I lose during this mining run. That's okay with me. I never had any problem with that, okay? But at the same time, when you're doing 3 different niches, if one of them really takes off, you do tend to focus on that more. So right about the time when the console version of Rust released, I'd done a few console update videos where I'd gone into just what was going on with Rust and the console version of it and the delays and everything like that. And it just so happened that my channel really took off with Rust. We're talking about almost 1 million views in a month, videos that were hitting 100,000 views regularly, like just some insane shit like that, right? And that's one of those things that it would be very hard for me to say, no, I'm going to play Entropia Universe instead, because we're talking about leaving thousands of dollars on the table. And I'm not even being like facetious, literal thousands of dollars. Like that's what we're talking about here. So of course I'm going to focus on Rust. And the drop off from literal thousands of dollars to hundreds of dollars to tens of dollars was very slow. The console version Rust didn't have the best release. So what happened is people slowly lost interest. Fair enough. As people lost interest, like the video views did go down, but I'm still sitting well above what I did with Entropia Universe. And the way the YouTube algorithm works, the way I believe it works, is it figures out what your channel is mainly doing, and it's more likely to promote your videos in that niche. So if I focused on both Entropia and Rust 50-50, my Rust videos would get promoted in my Entropia Universe, in the Entropia Universe niche, sorry about that, and vice versa. With Rust, there's a lot more competition. So if I actually want to be competitive, I want my videos to rank, I want to do good, I want to get views, I want to get, people interested in what I'm doing, it would be very hard for me to do a 50-50 split with Entropia Universe. I acknowledge that initially I was hoping that I could do something like every now and then, maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks, do an Entropia Universe video. But yeah, it was very hard. It's very hard. It still is to keep up with that grind, to keep putting out Rust videos, find time to do Entropia Universe videos, find time to play Rust, to actually get the footage so that I have footage for the Rust videos. And something had to give, and unfortunately that was Entropia Universe. In the background, I still do play Entropia Universe every now and then. It's not a game that I've completely dropped. You can see I've still got gear. I don't have a ton of PEDs on me because I've been putting them into deeds. I've just been playing the game like I always did, except I've been playing the game somewhat like I always did, except I just haven't been recording. There was no big falling out between me and MindArk. It's not like I hate Entropia Universe. I really do think this game's going places. I want to focus on some of the Unreal 5 content, talking about that. There probably is going to be another Entropia Universe video from me in the near future where I go over some of these Unreal 5 updates and the crazy announcements around that, because I think those are actually really exciting. It excites me to see that. It gives me an idea for like a fresh game that could be coming along, and a lot of really cool stuff that could be coming in the pipeline. And I want to talk about that because I think Entropia Universe is one of those games that a lot of people would enjoy the game if they just knew about it. They knew what it was, and they approached it with the right mindset. That's one of the things about Entropia. You can't approach it with the mindset of, I want to get to the highest level possible as soon as possible, because that's something that the devs literally let you do if you're willing to pay them enough money, right? Like, if you can pay millions of dollars, you could be the best player in Entropia Universe easy. But is that really the goal that you want to go to? Traditional MMORPGs teach us that that's the goal. But in my opinion, the goal should be more of a sustainable play style where you can actually sit down, enjoy yourself, and not spend an arm and a leg. For me, the thing was always like, if I come on to Entropia Universe, I spend $20, have a good night, get to chat with some people, and enjoy my time, that's worth it to me, because if I go out drinking, I'm going to be dropping, at least $100. I mean, with inflation and the cost of living and everything like that, that's just the reality for me living in a big city with a high cost of living. If I'm going to go out drinking, I'm probably going to spend at least $100. More likely, I'm going to spend $200 to $300 to $400, and that's a significant amount of money. I'm not saying it's not, but basically, my point is, oops, I just died. And also, dying in Entropia Universe, as long as you're not leaving loot on the table or doing any damage to mobs that kill you, not really a big deal. You can just respawn and you're good to go. So no money lost, no PDs lost, anything like that. It's a different type of game from Rust or anything like that. It's a way more chill game, and it really suits itself for this sort of play style. With Rust, there's a chill element to it, but there's always that, like, nervousness, right? Like, am I going to get killed? Am I going to die? What's going to happen? With Entropia Universe, it really isn't there. There's never any... There is tension if I go into PvP areas or something like that, but generally there's just not any tension. So what I can do is I can sit down and do videos like this where I'm more of a talking head, and I do enjoy that. That's one of the things that I've actually missed doing. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but like I miss doing these videos. This is a lot of fun to me. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy just going on these high level mining runs, sitting back, talking, shooting the shit. So yeah, I want to do more stuff like this. I really would like to do more stuff like this. I'd really like to branch out into Entropia Universe again and other games, and hopefully it's going to work out. But yeah, the big thing is just timing for me. With Rust, that's a game that you've got to sink a ton of time into. And I mean, some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't, but like I've got a family to take care of. I've got work. I've got friends that I want to, meet up with. I've got travels that I want to do. And all of that I've got to put all of that before YouTube. And then comes YouTube, and then comes the games that I record for YouTube. So you can see that Entropia Universe is pretty far down on the list as far as things that I'd be doing, because when it comes to games that I do for YouTube, the first one's going to be Rust. Second one probably would be Entropia Universe or something like that. So that's why I'm doing a video like this. These videos are fairly easy to film too. So like, maybe part of it is that I'm just a lazy piece of shit, I guess. I don't know. But I'm glad to be back playing this. And I never left the game. I never had any falling out with MindArk or anything like that. There's a ton of older players who do talk shit about me. Some because they think the information I'm giving out is incorrect and they think I'm misleading people. And I 100% get that. That's something that you can legitimately be upset with me for. Because, it's money on the line. I get that. I don't think I'm misleading people. I never meant to mislead people. That is not my goal. But if it happens, then, shame on me, right? And I can get why people get upset about that. And I get why some people are upset that I get, I don't know how this video is going to do. I really have no idea. Like, this video could get like 10 views and that's it. It could get 100 views. I could be sitting where I was when I left, and I'm sitting around 500 to 1,000 views a video. Or maybe it's going to be even more than that, because some of the Rust boys out there, #Rust, type it in the description so I know you're still listening, those of you who are into Rust. Or #Entropia Universe, I guess. Let me know what you're here, what you're watching for, and everything like that. But maybe some of you guys are watching in the chat, bumping up those view numbers. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. But back in the day, there were definitely some people that were upset that one of the players who didn't have an extremely high level of skill was still getting a decent high level amount of attention. And I can get the tension that causes. I can get the issues there. 100% understand it. But yeah, we're back. Yeah, let's stop with all this, okay? Because there's really nothing interesting about why I left Entropia Universe. It's fairly obvious. There's no falling out. There's no craziness going on. I still play the game in my free time. Every now and then, like, I haven't left Entropia Universe. I still play every now and then. It's just I haven't been recording as much. Also, if you do like this style of gameplay where it's just chill, chat, stuff like this, other people who are doing this, Scotty_C93 does a lot of Entropia Universe gameplay, and Julian McBain. I do listen to you. I listen to both of them. Also, Lore Spade. Don't want to forget him. And there's a few people over on Twitch. I think Rice. Keep wanting to say Rice Gum, but that's not it. Rice. I don't know. There's people over on Twitch. Go watch them too. Show some support to the community. It's a great community. Very chill. Very. Everybody's very chill there. And in general in this game, like I said, there's a few people that don't like me, but even them, like they're very chill about their dislike. I'll say that, right? Like, Rust, there's some people who go after you, right? In Entropia Universe, not as much. Every now and then you get that one person that just decides to take it to another level. But yeah, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. So yeah, what we're doing basically is just running around dropping some probes and seeing if we can get mining loot. It is a little bit more boring than going pew pew and shooting things, but it's exciting for me because you never know what you're going to get. You could get a really big global, you're going to get some swirlies around, and you're going to be able to be like, that is a legitimate amount of money. Or maybe you get nothing and you say that's a legitimate amount of money that I lost. You never know. It's always a crapshoot. That's what makes it fun. For those of you wondering, this is where I'm at. I don't know if anyone remembers this area. I used to like mining out here. I think this is one of the places I used to always recommend people go. I'd have to go back and watch my own videos, which feels a little too narcissistic for me to do. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is one of the areas I used to always like mining. So we're going to see what we can get. But yeah, like Entropia Universe is coming to the Unreal 5 engine, which blows my mind. That was an announcement that I did not expect, but when I heard that, I was so excited for that. Because I think that's exactly what they need. Like, they're coming in strong on this whole metaverse thing too. I love the fact that in their announcement, they're like, yeah, we're gonna create a metaverse in Unreal Engine 5, and it's gonna be players' actions are gonna be able to put together their actions to create an outcome. And I think a lot of people don't understand just how crazy that is. So right now, when you play Entropia Universe, you can hunt, you can mine, you can craft, you can make people's hair, you can color clothing, you can tame pets, you can be a space pirate, you can take people from place to place. But generally, there's 3 professions where you're interacting with the game and a bunch of other professions where you're interacting with players. It sounds like their new system, you're going to have a lot more professions that can interact with the game mechanisms, and that you can trigger certain things to happen or certain loots to drop or certain things to go off based on how you combine those mechanisms. And it's not something that's pre-programmed in. It's going to be a little bit more algorithmic. And I really do like that because I think that adds a whole new element of skill to the game, right? Like if you're a miner and a hunter, maybe like killing some mob in this certain way and dropping probes around where that mob died is going to be something that could give you better loot. I don't know. Like there's a lot of interesting ways I could see this going. And I really do like the fact that they're introducing that sort of element to Entropia Universe. I also love the fact, like I think I hinted at it, but then I got off topic. That's something I normally do in these videos, by the way. But I love the fact that they're introducing this whole metaverse element. Like I've always been harping on this, right? Like there's all these things out there. There's like Decentraland, Sandbox, Pixel Voxels, all these games like metaverses, I guess, who are trying to put games into their metaverse and create like a purpose. Like, oh yeah, players can make this, players can make that. People can do this. They can give stats to their item and stats to that. And like nobody knows exactly what's going on. And then some dude tries to sneak a sword in that has like 10 million HP or something crazy like that and gets in, or like clothing that bugs the game. All these glitches happen. It's basically Second Life where people upload stuff that just causes a game to lag and things sort of, they go in a whole direction you generally don't want your game to go in. Whereas Entropia Universe has the platform. They always called it a game, and they've slowly become something a little bit more than a game. They've slowly become more of a metaverse. And I love the fact that now they're fully embracing that title, and they're saying like, yeah, this is where we're going with it. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to be a competitor there. I don't know if they're going to introduce cryptocurrency. I know at some point they did talk about stuff like that. I don't know if they would because they'll lose control. NFTs, like I could see them doing that. I could also see them not doing that. But even if they don't introduce any of those crypto elements, the fact that they're finally embracing that metaverse title, I really love that. And also the fact that they're talking about players being able to create items, right? So right now you loot an item, you loot a gun, you put an attachment on it, all that. Maybe right now they're going to do something a little bit more like Rust. Maybe I've been playing Rust too much. It's cooked my brain. But something a little bit more like Rust where players can get all these pieces for a gun and maybe put them together. And I think they might even go a step further. So Rust, initially, if you know like the PC version of Rust, they had this concept. And this concept doesn't work with skins. So I don't think Rust players are ever going to see this. But where players could loot like barrels. They could loot the like chamber. They could loot all these different pieces to guns, put them all together and get something that's somewhat unique. The more pieces you have, the more parts you allow to be put together, the more unique the guns that players can create. And it sounds like MindArk, the creators of Entropia Universe, is looking to do something similar. And I think that could be huge for the game. If they could allow players to do that, like put together different pieces and create their own guns while allowing these OG guns to exist, that would be awesome. And those guns could affect the stats, and those stats could have an effect on your loot, how you're killing mobs, what mobs are best to kill, everything like that. Those systems interacting together, I think that could be really cool and allow for some exceptional gameplay. The thing is, like, what people don't understand is when Entropia Universe came out back in like 2011, or no, sorry, when it came out in 2005, algorithms had to be really basic. 2011 algorithms could get a little bit more detailed, but they couldn't get as crazy as they are now. So what they can do now on their back end is an insanely, it's an insane amount better than what they could do when they first came up with all of this. And I think Unreal 5 is going to allow them to wipe the slate and come out with some really amazing stuff. Like right now, like if you look at how YouTube recommends stuff, that was not possible 4 or 5 years ago. There's stuff like vector-based searches. Like you can introduce an insane amount of vectors into a search now compared to what you could do before. If you're wondering why like search technology and all of that has gotten more invasive, why it's gotten so much better at figuring out what you watch, it's because there's so many more points they can include. Like people are only willing to wait so long for search results. But as technology gets better, you can do more and more in the time that people are willing to wait for. And it's the same with loot. It's the same with everything. So like games are going to be getting a lot better. That makes sense. But the amount that things have changed, I think, since MindArk last developed this algorithm, it excites me. I see some really crazy stuff that could happen. And I'm excited for it. Like, you know, if you're wondering, will Serial Overdrive be back for Unreal 5? Unless something crazy is going on in my life, I think so. I think I'm going to be back for Unreal Engine 5. And I think it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to be doing some content on it, whether people like it or not. I think that's what my channel's going to be putting out for a good bit after that Unreal 5 engine drops. For those of you Rust players out there that are starting to get a little worried, it's not going to drop for another year or two. So by that time, we're going to know if Rust console is a thing that's here to stay or a thing that just gets dropped because it's not profitable. And, you know, if it's profitable, maybe I can make something work where I'm doing both. Because, that would be a reality I'd love to exist in, where I can do Entropia Universe content, I can do Rust content, I can do other stuff. I just have all the time that I need to do that. Right now, when I'm working 8 hours a day, I can't do that. If somehow, cross my fingers, like if I'm lucky enough, where I could make YouTube a legitimate source of income, right now it's fairly legitimate. Like I'll do, at 15 million views, I'm probably going to do something on just how much I've made over my 10 years on YouTube through this channel and everything like that. It's a significant amount of money. Like you could almost buy a Tesla, basically. Actually, you might be able to buy a Tesla. I don't know how much Teslas cost exactly, but like it's a pretty good amount. But it's 10 years of work. It's a lot of time put in. If you divide that over 10 years, it's not that much. You can't make the payments on the Tesla with that, and you definitely can't be living in Boston on that salary. But, you know, if I was ever lucky enough to actually have a lot of support, to have a lot of people watching, to be able to do stuff like that, yeah, I'd have enough time to do everything, and that would be amazing. I'd love that. But that's not the reality right now, so I do what I can with the time I'm given. And, you know, sometimes people have to wait for the content they want to come out, and I do appreciate the people that are willing to stick around and wait for that. But yeah, this is Entropia Universe. I'm running through desert right now, so it doesn't look as exciting. That's the thing. I was thinking, like, should I just introduce people with like something crazy? I already have an introduction to Entropia Universe that I did way back, like when my content first popped off on Rust. I did like a, hey, welcome to Entropia Universe. I really like this game, and I hope you guys will like it too. And I got a lot of Rust players that were thinking that I was paid off and all sorts of crazy stuff, right? I wasn't. But a lot of people were very negative about that because they thought I was doing something like dishonest, which, again, I wasn't, but I can understand the concern, especially with a game like this where there's real cash involved. And, you know, maybe the truth is I should be putting this content on a different channel, like Serial Overdrive Plays Entropia. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to be doing this enough, at least for now, that would make sense. But yeah, I'm back, at least for one video, and I'm enjoying myself. I miss doing this. I really do. I miss being able to play a game, talk through it, and then I can just put the video out. There's a lot of peace of mind there. Because with Rust, it's a grind, you know? I love the editing process. That's the other thing. I do like editing. I've got literally other channels that I put out, like just personal content with my face in it. Oh no. Other content like, ooh, another double. That's nice. But yeah, I've got other channels where I put out like content like that. And those channels, like literally some of that gets like no views whatsoever. Some of those videos actually, even though my channel has no subscribers, do pretty good. Like they'll pop off every now and then, get like a couple thousand views. You know, nothing crazy, but it's still like, okay, like I'm not that bad at editing. I'm not that bad at talking, because even though there's no one there that's interested in this, somehow YouTube found like 1,000 people who would sit through this for like 4 minutes or whatever it is, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah. It's good to be back though. We're actually, I think we're getting some, I don't know if we're getting decent loot, because I know I'm spending a lot here. That's the other thing. I probably lost money, didn't I? Just been sitting here chatting away and I'm taking the L. That's okay. Let's see, we had a double drop, so we're going to drop again here. We're walking, that's how many resources we have. When you have too much on your inventory, you start walking. I like to carry a lot of junk around with me, so I'm walking a lot. Part of it's because my inventory is filled, which MindArk, it would be really nice if with this whole Unreal upgrade thing, you could upgrade our inventory so they could hold a little bit more. I'd really love that. I'd really appreciate it. Especially when, like, it used to be, my inventory used to be super well sorted. Like, I'd have everything aligned. Like, you've got all these different armors in Entropia Universe. I used to have them all together. I have, like, a huge collection. Have them all sitting together. I knew, like, which each one was. And it would, like, feel really nice that I could go in there. And then there were, like, 2 back-to-back updates that just completely rearranged my storage. And at that point, I threw my hands up and said, screw it, I'm done. And my armor has never been aligned ever since. Also, I'm still dressed up for Christmas because I did that Christmas video. There were like 300 people that watched that video, I think. Also, someone who watched that video made like $50 and never got in contact with me. So, like, if you're watching this and you entered into that, please go check the comments and see if I owe you some money, because I still want to pay you. Seriously. Like, I always, like, when people, I try to get in contact with people, but honestly, a lot of the time you can't, like, the only way to do it is through the YouTube comments. I'm not going to sit there and stalk you to give you money. You've got to do a little bit of the work here to get that money from me. But, yeah. Getting a lot of good hits out here. I don't know what the markup on anything is anymore. I say I play, but, like, it's been a while since I've sold stuff on auction, probably a couple months. So dirt is still pretty good, but all this stuff, the markup's down. So that's one of the things I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what they do with some of the markup on these items. So the way Entropia... Well, that's pretty good. So the way Entropia Universe works is you've got a value that you can sell an item to the trade terminal, or basically the makers of the game for, and then a value you can sell it to the players for. Markup is at like 100%, that's what you sell it to the game for. That extra 16% that you're seeing here, that's what I sell it to the players for. So the more percent I get there, the more likely I am to profit. Because if the game gives me back 90% of what I spent, and then the average markup is 15%, I made 5%. The game made 10%. So, yeah, it's all good. Hold on one sec. Just replying to a text message. I think we're deep enough into this that you guys can accept that I'm going to respond to a text here or there. But yeah, it's good to be back. I do enjoy doing this. I miss doing this. I don't know how much you guys missed watching this. Just, you know, that's one of the things. Anytime you put a video out after it's been a while, you've always got that worry that like nobody's gonna tune in, and it's just, you know, making a bit of a dick of myself here. Now I'm saying like, oh, I missed this. I'm so glad I'm doing it again, and then it's like, no, nobody else is glad though. Serial, nobody. It's just you. I'm hoping that's not the case, because that would be a little awkward. But no one would make it this deep, so you guys wouldn't be able to... Worst case scenario, I think, is like a couple of you make it this deep, you're able to call me out, and then I've got to sit there and take it. But if we're talking later on, I probably won't remember saying any of this, so it's going to be very hard to call me out. Like calling out someone with dementia. Even if you get a good one on them, they're not going to remember it. So what's the point? Dementia or Alzheimer's? Not sure which one I should have said, but I think it works for both. Whichever one's least offensive, let's go with that. And to anyone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, I do apologize, but don't worry, you're not going to remember this. The joke or the apology. That's mean. Sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, how all the old school people who are watching this, how are you guys doing? What have you been up to in Entropia Universe? It's been a while. Catch me up on what's going on. Unreal 5, whole remake of the game. Anything else worth doing? Anything else crazy? The other thing that I really do love, I forgot to, we'll probably talk about this in another video, but the other thing that I really do love, they're talking about jump gates, which sounds to me like you're going to be able to go between planets without going into space. And I think space is one of the things that actually killed planets. So re-enabling it, like making it so players can go between planets quickly without going into space is huge. For people who own motherships, you're disliking this video right now. You're flicking off your computer screen and you're pissed because you put like $50,000, $100,000, PEDs, whatever it is, into this. And you're looking at a loss, and I can completely get that. But for most of the player base, this is huge. Because if you can go between planets like that, all of a sudden, like, a lot more of the world opens up, because there's all these other like peripheral worlds. Like right now I'm on one planet, Calypso. In Entropia Universe, you can go between multiple planets. There's like a rock and roll themed planet. There's like a Greek themed planet. There's planets that are just themed off of like destruction and death and all sorts of crazy stuff, right? But the problem is it takes a long time to go between planets, and you're risking a lot of your inventory when you do it. If all of a sudden MindArk eliminates that, if all of a sudden it doesn't take time to go between planets, and all you've got to do is click a button or pay a small fee to do it, I think people are going to be way more able to do that, way more able to explore these different worlds, and a lot happier because they're going to be able to get that different environment without going to a different game. And I think that's like a huge thing. Like one of the things in advertising is like this funnel, right? Like getting people into the funnel, how low you can get them into the funnel, if you can make a sale, all stuff like, I don't know what it's called. I've just seen it in meetings. I'm not paying attention. And let's be honest, especially with like work from home, I've got my cell phone set up right below the camera. I'm playing, I don't know. I'm playing who knows what. Angry Birds. That's an old one. But no, I'm like just doing whatever, right? People are talking about sales funnels and stuff like that. Being able to keep people in the game longer because there's more for them to do, because they can easily get between planets, is huge. I think that's going to really help. I don't know what's going on in chat down there. I just saw they were talking about the Cold War or some crazy shit. Wonder why. But yeah, it's I'm excited. I think I've said that many times. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I want to be able to keep this video going, but I also want to send a damn text. I could edit this out. I might edit that out. I don't know. We'll see. I've gotten a lot better at editing too, so maybe you guys will see a little bit more finesse there in my intros if I decide to do an Entropia Universe video that I think could get a little bit more views. Like if I'm doing something where I'm covering Entropia Universe being the first MMORPG that could be using Unreal 5 engine, that video I'm definitely going to try and edit it down a little bit more. Something like this, the problem with editing it down is it takes a long time to do, and the payoff generally isn't there. Also, I don't have as much fun editing the Entropia Universe videos, if I'm being honest. Like Rust, it's sort of cool because you can do cool things with kill clips and piecing together a story. With Entropia Universe, a lot of the time the story is, I'm going out with this much money, let's see how much we can bring back. Or I'm going out to do this, let's see if we can do it. But there's not as much of a story to the actual going out part. Or maybe I'm just very unimaginative. There's someone who can revolutionize things, go ahead and do it. Also, I should mention, I keep saying I'm going to buy a new computer, and I'm still working with the HP Omen laptop that so many of you are familiar with, but now the prices are going down, it might actually happen. I might be willing to do that. I'll probably wait till the 4000 series graphics cards come out. Maybe the whole economy will have crashed, and I'll have a little bit of money sitting aside, and I can use that to buy a graphics card at MSRP, fingers crossed. Right now, I think I can get a 30 series around MSRP. But we'll see, like, depending on what comes out, depending on how much it is. But I'll probably be, at some point here, I'm going to be upgrading, and it will be before the Unreal 5 release. So I'll be 100% ready to go for that. So I think that should excite a lot of people too. But yeah, like, there's going to be more Entropia Universe coming to this channel. Like, this is not, I don't want to say it because then I'll jinx it, but this is likely not going to be the last Entropia Universe video you see. And hopefully people are going to keep enjoying them. Hopefully people are going to be coming back to this. I don't know. You know, like I said, that's always a worry, right? Like, you never know when you leave a niche for this long. I don't know, like, who's taking over? Maybe there's someone other than Scotty or Julian that's really killing it right now. If there is, let me know, because I really am curious. Like, I'd love to watch their content. Because I try to keep myself informed about Entropia Universe. One reason, because I like the game, and I guess the other reason is I do have a significant amount of money invested in this game now. I think we're closing in on 5 digits here, USD. So there's it's a little bit of money in these pockets. Got one more probe to drop. Then we've run through our 60 PEDs, and we'll see how far we've gone through the amp, and we'll add it up and tell you guys what the profits are. So let's drop that probe. Let's stop here. Fingers crossed for good luck, folks. Fingers crossed for good luck. Let's make it happen. And we took the L. So there's no globals. I was really hoping there would be one, but unfortunately there was not. So let's get the totals of everything. So this is going to be a trade terminal right here that I can just pull out. I've got a mobile one that makes it easy to add all this up. Got 182 PEDs of loot. On the amplifier, we've gone through about 150 PEDs. Actually, a little over 150. So in total, we spent, what is it? 216, I think it is. No, 218. No, 216 PEDs. Got 182 back. So we lost about 40 PEDs on this run, or $4, plus a little bit extra for decay on the finder, and a little bit probably on the guns and the amps and everything like that, but we won't count that because I didn't do this. So we lost 40 PDs on this run, which actually is a pretty significant percentage. Wasn't the best run, but it is what it is. I was hoping I'd get some nice, like, welcome back global, and sticking the amp on it would make it off. But that obviously did not happen. It is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it if you made it this far, whether you're a Rust player or an Entropia Universe player. I hope you liked the video. And if you are not an Entropia Universe player, Entropia Universe is 100% free to download. They'll give you a couple PEDs to play around in the game with. Why not give it a shot? Maybe you'll like it. Most likely you won't, but I'd still just check it out. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad to be back doing an Entropia Universe video. This was a lot of fun. I'll be doing it again. So until next time, peace.